Hey y'all, it's Raizu here, and today we're reacting to Modulo chapter 13. Last chapter we saw that Cross got shot and the bird popped up. They were like the argument was going crazy, then the bird popped up. Not sure what he finna do. Finna find out. Let's get into the video.
Seeing the aftermath of what had happened after Yakumaru had shot Cross at the end of the previous chapter.
Yeah.
Turns out that Cross is
Deep,
like in a coma, and his wounds can't be healed by reverse curse technique. This
Oh,
is
so he
interesting
really
because I thought
shot.
that's how it was going to be solved. Not necessarily by a doctor or whatever, as we're going to see in this chapter, but I thought just Cross himself would just have reverse curse technique because he's
So they don't have
powerful.
reverse curse
That
technique.
he and Maru are kind of like prodigies with this stuff. I mean, they were able to almost, I don't know, single-handedly create the Sumerian spaceship. I mean, that still remains to be seen, but it seems that way. Now, of course, the Sumerians are very upset with what had happened. But not only Cross is in a coma, we're also seeing that Usami is in one as well. He's kind
What
of
happened
like
to him?
Cursed coma or whatever. Because we're coming back to the moment at the end of the previous chapter when Deborah had shown up right after Cross got shot. And we're seeing that he's just
Oh, he's mad. I'm not gonna lie.
like,
You could tell he's mad. His third eye is like fully open now. He's for sure mad.
I don't even know if this can be called aura farming. It's something more than that. It's actually aura paralysis, I suppose, because everyone is just frozen in fear because of how powerful this freak is. And Deborah is reminded of his promise that he made to Dora at the end of the flashback, like when we found out why he is even with the Rumelians at this point and why the Rumelians came to Earth and everything. It was, you know, he'll protect the Rumelians because Deborah himself is not a Rumelian. Yes, they are all Sumerians, but there's like different races of them. Deborah is a Deskunte, which aren't really tied to the Kallians at all. They actually kind of dislike them, but we'll get into that. And Deborah goes up to Yakumaru and he's like,
Yeah,
oh
my.
are you the
Look
one
at Deborah, bro.
and then suddenly Usami
Staring him down.
behind Deborah and surprisingly tries
Uses
to
curse.
use her speech on him, telling him not to move, but it doesn't matter. Deborah
He's immune.
takes
That boy, Deborah, quick, bro. Whole hand gone, bro. And he's immune to curse speech.
And at first they're like, he was too fast. But it seems like it didn't even really matter because he's just beasting through curse speech. Like, it's not affecting him at all, seemingly. And because of this, Usami's being hit with curse speech recoil. Like, he's stroking out because of Deborah just brute forcing through the curse speech.
Wow.
Man. Like, even Sukuna was susceptible to Inumaki's curse speech at the end of the first series.
So, okay, I'm wondering why.
End of series, you know, last thing Inumaki does. So that couldn't really spoil his
Why can't Deborah?
I guess this means
why is he immune?
Deborah is stronger than Sukuna. At least Sukuna in his nerfed form at the end.
Oh, Deborah is stronger than Sukuna, bro. Oh, this is bad.
Chapter, they straight up say that Deborah's power can't be measured by the sorcerer ranking system, meaning that he is above special grade, which Sukuna was, in my opinion. Although they never outright said it, they still did classify him as a special grade. But this is just taking the Deborah.
Yeah, he's way above special grade.
Usami is like still conscious. He's like, please forgive our rudeness. And we apologize for what had happened.
Now he wouldn't apologize. Oh man.
Just let's talk this over another time. Give us another chance. And Deborah's like, Cross might die with those injuries. I will take the lives of your subordinates. And everyone's just shook. And Usami's like, no, please have mercy on us. Just take my
That boy, Deborah does not care, bruh. Crazy side eye.
Dora, I guess, is like the Rumelian equivalent of Deborah, although not nearly as strong. But I guess you could also say he was kind of like the Gojo to Maru and Cross. And Deborah wound up killing him in like their duel that they had to have between the Deskunte and the Rumelians back on Samuria. He was kind of forced to do it because they took his sister and like put a curse on her or whatever. Sorry if I keep like bringing up old stuff and reminding you guys of things.
I do remember that RIP, man.
It's just because I know not everybody is like a returning viewer to this video. A lot of people that watch my reviews kind of just find them through browse or whatever, and maybe they're just casual Jujutsu Modulo fans. And that being said, hey, subscribe if you haven't already.
He's right, man.
300K.
Subscribe, bro.
Left to get there before the end of the year. Thursdays, that's give Jujutsu Kaisen too much the video owner respects him, I guess, and he's like, okay, you know, whatever.
Shout out, shout out my boy.
Not kill anybody, at least for now. And as he's walking away, he's like, once again, it's the Callians. Which he kind of seems annoyed almost by this, or at least frustrated.
Callians didn't even own Earth.
He's a Discunte, and the Discuntes aren't tied to the Callians, not through religion or through cursed energy, the way that the Rumelians are. And a lot of the beef that the Discunte have with the Rumelians back on Sumeria is because of the Callians. Because the Rumelians allow the Callians to have like their own land, and the Discunte kind of want to have that land, but the Callians and the Rumelians, conflict with that. Especially like the Callians straight up just killing people or attacking them that aren't Rumelians.
Yeah, that is crazy though.
In fact, the Callians actually killed the Discunte chieftain's daughter. And that's why
the fight happened.
Was chosen to fight in that duel against the Rumelians and wound up killing Dora. So he's like, once again, it's the freaking Callians. I hate these things, but, I made a promise to Dora that I'm going to protect the Rumelians. And as we've also established, it's not literally the Callians, it's the cursed spirits, but the Rumelians are just so stubborn.
That picture is still crazy, bro.
Fully accept that cursed spirits on Earth are just Callians. And that being said, the Japanese government responds to this by just halting the extermination of cursed spirits, trying to cool things down and not rile up the Sumerians or the Rumelians anymore. But, of course, they can't do this forever, because they established in the previous chapter that they're maintaining the cursed spirits inside of Tokyo by having a barrier around it, but also doing, intermittent exterminations or cullings of them so they don't get out of control. But if they do that, then they're just going to start leaking out of Tokyo regardless of the...
If you're in Tokyo, if they're in Tokyo, they gotta move out quick.
So they decide to not kill cursed spirits.
2086?
And then we're just having a time skip. And we're going
2086?
into December of 2086. And we find out that they're secretly exercising the curses because they kind of have to. And of course, the Rumelians find out about this because Otsuki on the ship is listening in to Tokyo. With his...
How do they still not realize that they're curses?
He knows for sure that they're still killing the cursed spirits because he's still crying.
There, you told them.
He can hear the true voices of cursed spirits. So after this, the Sumerians send a message. They're like, hey, we consider you killing the cursed spirits an international crime. Therefore, you're going to have to take international responsibility. And the Japanese government's like, no, actually, we kind of have to do this. It's a force majeure, meaning we're not responsible for contractual obligations. If something like a natural disaster happens, which, freaking cursed spirits are. And also, it's just nonsense that the Rumelians are doing this anyway. I mean, it's very compelling
it is true.
Story, of course, but just in general, it's what are you doing? Stop. You don't even live here. This isn't even your planet. But they continue to take out...
And the curses aren't even theirs being the Callian. They think it's Callians. It really ain't.
Bora, he's like, you can't even hear the voices of the Callians, but I can. After all, you're just a Discunte outsider. And he's like, I'm sorry, Jabaloma, but Otsuki's right. I am nothing but a Discunte warrior. And I guess him saying this makes him realize, well, I might as well make myself useful and put the hammer to the nail. And then we find out that the Sumerians have this big proposal, and it's that to protect the cursed spirits from further being killed, that they want to establish a new Rumelian government within Tokyo. And that if the government refuses, then they're going to do a duel as the way of the Discunte. So it's
a battle, another fight.
Once this concept was introduced back in the flashback when, we saw Nobara kill Dora. And the government refuses because while it would just be easy to give the Rumelians or the Sumerians Tokyo, since humans can't live there anyway, that's not really the issue. It's the whole issue of them keeping cursed spirits from being killed. Earth just can't...
I thought there were some humans in Tokyo.
Cursed spirits would just kill humanity.
Good thing they all did.
Which is interesting because it's why aren't they killing the Sumerians? I wonder if Gege is going to explore that anymore. But we see them discussing this duel, and they're like, well, nominating anyone but Yuji to duel Nobara would be out of the question.
Oh, yeah, Yuji versus Nobara? I want this. I need this.
We were justified in our speculations that was probably
my predictions have came true.
Yuji, but it's not that simple.
Soon, hopefully.
It turns out that Nobara, who first of all is still alive,
Nobara?
is giving
Hold up.
testimonial on what's going on with Yuji. By the way,
I gotta talk about her.
Would be, I guess, in her
80s. Okay, hold up. So, Nobara is alive. Even though, we all thought she died when Mahito touched her face, but I guess she only got that side, or just her eyeball. So, she's alive. Second, we also got Mahito's here. So, we got Nobara, Yuji, Mahito. And, I'm not gonna lie, for her being 80, bruh, I ain't gonna lie, bruh, she still look fine, bruh. I ain't gonna cap. For her to be in her, probably late 80s at this point, or early to mid 80s, but she still looks fine. I can't lie, bro. I had to
It's
say
really
that. I had to
hard
say that
to
real
see
quick.
what she fully looks like, but it seems like she's doing pretty well.
But she don't look
And she
wrinkly.
says the last time that I saw Yuji was at Hannah's funeral, and he said that he wouldn't be going to any more funerals. He might look like a musclehead, but he's surprisingly sensitive, you know? He just can't bear to see anyone else off. After all,
Yeah,
he
but
can't
all his
age,
friends
you
dying.
know? So every time I saw him, I was
So
painfully aware of
he
just
just
how
don't
old
get
I got.
older
He
then.
always looks like he feels so bad about it. So that
Seeing
is
all
a
his
huge
friends
reveal,
die,
and it
wow.
confirms another thing that we thought about Yuji. When we
Yuji
saw a
just
panel of him
can't
a couple
age.
chapters
So he
back, is that he
can't
is
die by
still young
age?
and that he can't age, which is really cool because let me just put it out there, he for sure is going to come back into the story. Regardless.
Okay, so him not aging is basically like, I guess he just can't die by like age. So he could literally be, I don't know, like he just won't be able to be dying by age, I guess. Also, that's Loki, like, him seeing all his friends die, bro. Gojo, Megumi's probably dead. Yuta and Maki died. Him seeing all his friends die is just, that's sad, bro. Like, that's just a sad life, man. And now Hana, he went to her funeral. So now it's like what his grandpa said, what his grandpa was talking about. Make sure you don't die alone. He's going to die alone now. All his friends are dying, are already dead or are close to the age that he's going to be alone, man. It's sad.
What we're going to be talking about at the end of this chapter. Yuji is going to come back and he is going to fight Nobara. Even Gege can't fumble this. Yes, he has set up many things in the original series that never went anywhere and had disappointing outcomes, but this is not going to be one of them because that would just be evil. However, it's just going to
But
take
Gege is evil.
Now, as we also talked about before, Yuji probably hasn't aged because he's not like really a human. He's kind of like a human curse hybrid, curse womb, Sukuna vessel thing
Yeah.
that Kenjaku made. So he's special.
Because he's from
Also,
Kenjaku and
that might
Sukuna.
look like a musclehead, but he's surprisingly sensitive, you know? Yuji was muscular, I guess, originally. You know, not like what you would say a musclehead, even by anime standards. So I guess this implies that he has gotten much larger over time, which would be pretty cool to see like a big buff Yuji. I mean, he didn't really look buff in that panel that we got of him, but maybe he is. And also this is telling us that Hannah, who is like Angel or the vessel of Angel, has died, which is understandable. I mean, most of the original cast should be dead or dying at this point since they're all in their 80s, 90s, or 100s. And let me also point out that in the spoilers that we did, it made it seem like
Megumi
had died, but no, Megumi is still not accounted for. We don't know if he's alive or dead, but I'm sure
he got some new
he'll
scars.
come back at some point since Nobara is in this chapter. So you know we got to go through the whole original trio, right? But anyway, it's not Yuji who's being chosen because they can't find him yet. So in the interim, it turns out that they've chosen Ruka. Also, trigger warning from this point on, I'm going to be calling Yuka Ruka. I don't know why I was saying that. Maybe I was thinking about Rika's ring in relation to her and like my wires.
Yuka and then what, Maru and the whole gang.
This is really going to trigger a lot of you, so just fair warning, I'm going to be saying Ruka a lot. So, I have so many issues with this. First of all, the way that they're depicting Ruka in the final panel here, which is obviously trying to parallel to Yuta. That's fine and all, but this is like unearned. This is not who Ruka is. Now, granted, it's been 2 months since.
And is she wearing the same jacket?
To do with Usami, like maybe
or
Usami
she wearing
died
a similar one?
Speech recoil, and it just made her go cold or something. That remains to be seen. I don't really think we got an update.
Boy, Usami looks messed up, bro. His voice, face, his arm is gone.
And unearned. For some reason, I just don't like this. It has that real, like, bro thinks he's on the team type of energy. And I like Ruka. I've said that since the beginning. I think she is a good character, but this is just, like I said, unearned. And also, why is she being selected to fight Nobara?
Nobara is going to kill her.
This is Coughing Baby versus Hydrogen Bomb. Now, I know
true.
I'm getting ahead of myself. Not everything has been explained. It's been 2 months. Maybe she's special grade level now. Because all it took was, like, 1 month for all of the characters to get ultra powerful at the end of the original series, especially Yuji. I mean, granted, he had to fight Sukuna and then have the end of series MC, you know, out of nowhere power up too, but is Ruka getting this as well? Why is she being picked? Do they literally have no one else on Earth who is a better candidate? And also, I don't even know if she has Yuta's ring. You know, the Rika ring, which was highlighted.
She probably should still have it.
It was like handed down to her, kind of, but then it was also given to Tsurugi, and she asked Tsurugi for it. I don't know if we got an update on the ring. But even then, Rika is not enough to take down Nobara. Like, Nobara could easily solo Rika. So I'm not really sure where this is going. I mean, I guess Gege has some kind of plan for it. And I know that Ruka is dying. She has like a brain tumor
The
or
illness
something,
that she won't
and
tell
she's got a
nobody.
couple months left to live. So now that we're 2 months into the future, maybe she has like 3 months or 4 months, something like that. So it's understandable why she's gonna nominate herself, but it just this is just kind of frustrating. I know we're eventually gonna see Yuji fight Nobara, but why make us go through hoops like this? Just go, put us
Another
on a freaking
gauntlet?
Yuji
Why are we doing
mission.
another
And
gauntlet,
also,
bruh?
I mentioned this
It's
a
like
few
JJK was
chapters
with
ago, or
Sukuna.
maybe in the last chapter, but this series is going to be very short because
That's true.
Gege said
Couple
it's only going to be
chapters.
like 3 volumes or something. So we're halfway through the series at this point, and I would have liked the Finding Yuji arc, but maybe there's not enough time for that. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. And
Hey,
if
am
you
I gonna
liked
lie?
it,
That chapter surprised. Nobara is still alive and Yuji can't age. Which is, if you think about it, that's just sad, man. He just seeing all his friends dying. Like, Nobara is probably, Megumi's probably dead because the illness, like the headaches or the brain damage you got from all them domains, if that's not enough to kill him early, then it's just the age that's going to hit him. So, I mean, it's a good chapter. Hopefully Sami, he gets better soon. And hopefully they found Megumi. I mean, not Megumi. Uh, Itadori. I want to see Itadori versus Nobara. I want to see that. Honestly, maybe Yuka gets injured and Itadori comes in to back her up. I don't know, something like that. Hey, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm going to see you in the next one. Peace.